Hello, students. We are going to continue in our Mexico's geography notes. And so we left off at 1.5, exploring the Yucatan, and we talked about the Yucatan Peninsula in our last notes. And remember that a peninsula is a body of land that is surrounded by water on three sides. And I showed you the map of the Yucatan Peninsula as well. So our first question here is, what type of landform is the Yucatan? That one I already just answered for you. What kind of peninsula is the answer, excuse me. That is the type of landform. So it is a peninsula. So I am going to read here over in the text to look for our next answer. So the land on the Yucatan is mostly composed of. So I'm going to begin here under sacred wells. Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula has both wet and dry seasons. Because of the peninsula's physical geography, very little surface water is available. National Geographic grantee Sam Meacham is helping to find ways to gain access to this valuable resource. The peninsula is composed mostly of limestone. Water from rainfall seeps through the pores or openings in the limestone and flows underground. The weight of this groundwater creates cracks underground. Over time, the cracks expand into caves. These underwater caves function as aquifers, or layers of rock beneath the earth that contain water. The Yucatan Peninsula has a dry surface, so the water contained in these aquifers is critical to the water supply. So we've got an answer here. The land on the Yucatan is mostly comprised of or composed of limestone. So limestone is our answer that we're looking for there. And we actually have the answer to the next question there as well, and that is what is an aquifer? And so it's highlighted here that an aquifer is layers of rock beneath the earth that contain water. So number 4 is one that you're going to be filling in the blanks like we've done before. And again, that I have put in letters where you're going to put the answers. So they're also in blue and they're a little bit bigger than the rest. So you should be able to clearly see them later on when you go back to look at your notes. So the Yucatan Peninsula has a blank surface. So these aquifers are critical to the blank. And we actually already read and answered that question as well. And it is right here, this last sentence. Yucatan Peninsula has a dry surface. So these aquifers are critical to the water supply. So remember, your answer should go in after the letter, and they will then also appear in blue color in your notes. So we're going to move forward here. And number 5 says, what is a cenote? And so in order to answer that question, we're going to read the next paragraph. Sometimes the surface rock collapses to reveal the underground pools. These exposed pools are called cenotes. Mayan for sacred wells. Meacham's team explores the cenotes, which provide entry to underground rivers and underwater caves that contain substantial water resources. One cave that Sam's team explored has 112 miles of underwater passages. So cenotes here says that it is, they are exposed pools of water that are underground. And then number 6, cenotes is the Mayan word for, and that comes in that same sentence. It is the Mayan word for sacred wells. So that word sacred we've had before when we talked about religion, and that religions have a sacred text, which means that it is related to religion. It's held closely. It's very important for the Mayan people. And then let's see here. Let's go over there. Our next question, we'll call it, is a fill in the blank. Tourist activities produce blank and blank that can pollute the aquifer. So we are going to continue to read. Meacham's team is helping to reveal not only the importance of this groundwater, but also potential threat to its safety. The Yucatan Peninsula is a popular tourist destination. Visitors come to enjoy the white sand beaches. I'm going to move this over a little bit. There we go. Of the Caribbean coastline on the eastern side of the peninsula. While income from tourism is needed to build Mexico's economy, Meacham fears that high levels of tourism can be a threat to the aquifer. Tourist activities produce garbage and sewage. If this material is not disposed of properly, the water that collects in the cenotes can become polluted and therefore unusable. So we've got our answer here that tourist activities, here we go, produce garbage and sewage. Produce garbage and sewage, and that can pollute the aquifer. And as you're writing that, I'm going to just finish reading out this section. Meacham leads a nonprofit organization devoted to protecting the Yucatan aquifer. His work exploring the mapping underwater caves will provide access to scientists who want to study these reserves of water. Access to the water from the underground reserve can help Mexico's economy grow in a way that is sustainable or based on preserving resources rather than using them up. Okay, so this takes us to the end of Chapter 3, Section 1, which is on Mexico's geography.